Hello everyone, I'm Brior and welcome back to Goodgame Empire. Specifically, welcome back to my audio-only series. It's been a while since I've done one of these videos, so I wanted to remind you that the idea behind them is you could listen to it in the background while you play Goodgame Empire, or just do something else you enjoy. Of course, you don't have to, but I wanted to throw that idea out there. In today's episode, I was hoping I could ramble, and I do mean ramble, I don't have a script today, about the recent events on the US1 server. Now, there's always a risk when you do one of these videos that you will end up rattling somebody's cage and making yourself more of a target. I hope that doesn't happen, but I wanted to make more videos this summer, and I don't want any events in the game to prevent me from achieving that goal. That would make me sad. So I'm going to go ahead with this video anyways. So let's rewind the clocks 2.5 weeks. As many of you know, I'm in an alliance called Tough, the Unforgiven. Tough participated in the US1 server war for about 2 years, fighting on the side of the Kingdom of Nef. As for myself, I was part of the alliance Kingdom of Nef 2 before I came to Tough, and you can go back and watch some of my older videos to see that that's true. Like countless other alliances and players, the Unforgiven did eventually decide to drop out of the war. There was no end in sight, and while I wasn't in the Unforgiven at the time, presumably their leaders figured that there was no future for Tough in the war. And now we come to the events of 2.5 weeks ago. The Kingdom of Nef, now free from the server war, which did end earlier this year, decided to declare on Tough with the reasoning that Tough had abandoned them in their time of greatest need. I think I've managed to present that in a way that makes sense, but for many people here at Tough, the declaration came as quite a surprise. Tough was one of the kingdom's longest-serving allies in the server war, and it even stuck around until the server war started to get ugly with things like outpost captures and rampant tool burning, and all of the types of things that I've talked about in my audio-only server war video. As I've mentioned, I was not in the Unforgiven when it decided to drop out of the war, so it's difficult for me to understand what the situation was like. It's possible that there was a disagreement between the leadership of Khan and the leadership of Tough about how the server war was being handled, and they ended on rather unfriendly terms. But I don't know that for sure. It could also have just been a lack of communication that caused Tough to call it quits. I'll leave it up to you, the listeners, to figure out whether or not the declaration was justified. Figuring out whether it was or wasn't is not really the point of this video. Rather, I wanted to talk about the position the Kingdom of Nef seems to have put itself in to dominate the server. I also wanted to mention at some point in this video that I don't really have any secret information to betray. I'm not really caught up on the events outside the Unforgiven right now, and a lot of the information that gets to us is just based on rumors or speculation. I also purposefully did not look into this topic because if there is a big plan in the works, even though it doesn't seem like there is, I didn't want to release that information on YouTube. I genuinely do not know. If you look right now, you will see that the Kingdom of Nef is the most powerful alliance on the United States server, both in terms of might points and command points. If you're unfamiliar with what command points are, basically that is just an aggregation of all of the property the alliance holds. We're talking capitals, metropolises, royal towers, and even monuments and labs. Capitals right now are not all that important. They enable the members of the Alliance to recruit troops that can also be gotten through glory titles that pretty much everyone has. However, capitals do essentially give the player who owns them an extra castle from which to recruit, support, station, send, etc. troops. So they are a minor benefit at the least. Metros provide much more of a tangible bonus. They provide extra food to all of the members in the alliance. Royal towers provide a bonus towards capturing capitals and metros, but outside of war, they are actually a hindrance because you have to station defenders at them, and that just takes away from the amount of troops that the alliance has to defend itself or participate in the events with. The Unforgiven did have a royal tower, but it was not properly defended and was captured at the outset of this war. I think it's pretty obvious that the Kingdom of Nef is a much more powerful alliance than the Unforgiven. Tough never really had a chance of defeating the Kingdom of Nef in the traditional sense. However, we have stuck together as a family, which is a lot more than you can say for some of the Kingdom of Nef's other recent opponents. As I understand it, the current surrender conditions for Tough involve our leadership removing certain players from our alliance, which seems like a pretty harsh condition. Presumably, those players would be forced out of the game by Khan. We're talking about being prevented from joining any other powerful alliances, especially those that Khan is allied with, and we're also talking about outpost captures, RV stripping, and just repeated farming. Many of Khan's players also have destruction commanders, or they've gotten the destruction perk through the Hall of Legends, which means that they can destroy granaries. The names of the players that the Kingdom of Nef wants removed from Tough have not been shared with me, and for all I know, I might be one of them. We talked earlier about why the war began, and I left it up to you to decide whether or not you thought the Kingdom's actions were justified. I'd be curious to know in the comments below if you also think it's justified for the Kingdom of Nef to try and hunt these players out of existence. I'm sure that there are a whole range of perspectives on this issue. Maybe some players would say that any action taken in war is justifiable provided that the alliance can back it up with its power, and certainly, as we've discussed, the Kingdom of Nef is a very powerful alliance at the moment. And that's actually the heart of what I wanted to get at in this video. In addition to having so many military and property bonuses, the Kingdom of Nef has also positioned itself well diplomatically. I wanted to reiterate that I have not been a part of any diplomatic conversations on this issue, but I think there are a few things anyone can observe. As we all know, the Kingdom of Nef and the MISC fought it out for over 3 years in the server war on the United States 1 server. I'm sure that there are still some animosities there, because that war was vicious, but it seems for now that the two alliances are allies or at the very least won't attack one another. They've both publicly stated so in their alliance descriptions. I will say that I do understand why the MISC would not be willing to attack the Kingdom of Nef. Not just because the Kingdom of Nef is powerful and not just because they fought a 3-year war, but for alliances that didn't participate in the war or that participated against the MISC to now go to the MISC asking them for help is kind of ridiculous. The great thing about the server war for many people on the United States server was that it kept Khan and the MISC occupied with one another. During that time, many alliances rose to enter the top 10, and now that the server war is over, I think the order of alliances is being adjusted, to say the least. If you look at the top 20 alliances right now in terms of might points, you will see that many of them seem to be a part of that diplomatic faction. We're talking either a part of the Kingdom of Nef, a part of the MISC, or directly allied with either one of those alliances. Of course, these numbers change daily, but right now, here are the alliance positions that are in that faction. 1st, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 9th, 10th, and 16th. The Kingdom of Nef recently announced in their alliance description that the leadership of Grumpy King, a long-time top 10 alliance on the United States server, was now an enemy of Khan. That bumped Grumpy King outside of the top 10. I don't know whether that's permanent or temporary, and it indicates that the Kingdom of Nef is really going after everybody who was in any way involved in the server war. There's also been a rumor that the Kingdom of Nef dropped their pact with Dream Team, which is the second most powerful alliance on the server. I don't know if this is true or not, but let's, for the sake of this video, just pretend that it is. It might mean that the Kingdom of Nef is preparing to declare war on Dream Team, which would be quite the step. However, because neither Dream Team, nor Grumpy King, nor really any of the other alliances that Tough was allied with came to Tough's help, the Kingdom of Nef is taking us down one by one. It might be too late for a faction to come up to oppose the Kingdom of Nef.